I'll try to make this as brief as possible, but I have been to the Dan Minahan School of Public Presentation. If you've got any meetings or anything to go to before 3 o'clock, you might be in trouble. One of the things that I won't spend much time on, but everybody is keenly aware of all the school projects that are under construction, and you know, those include new high schools at Union and Central, and a major renovation that's about to start at the east side, plus the new gymnasium that's being built in Appalachia. So, you know, our public schools are going to be transformed rather radically in the next year or so. So I won't spend too much time on that because there's been an awful lot of information about that in the paper. But I will highlight a number of other things that the county is involved in. On a very small scale, but a fairly significant little project, is an expansion of the courthouse parking lot. That construction hopefully will start sometime this fall. We're going to add about 30 spaces to that parking lot and restripe the whole parking lot to make that a more efficient layout and a little safer arrangement behind the courthouse. If you've ever been over there on a court day, parking is a big deal. So that's kind of significant for the county. Also, the county is undertaking a security upgrade in the courthouse, and one of the things that they're going to be doing, which will impact anyone who goes to the courthouse at any time, they're going to construct a security vestibule in the garage, such that every single person coming in or out of the courthouse must go through this security vestibule and enter the courthouse from that lower level and either go up the elevators. They are upgrading the two elevators that exist now. They're going to add a third elevator in the shaft that already exists, and then of course there's a stairway there too, and you'd only have to walk up 2 flights of stairs to get anywhere in the courthouse. But the doors that we all enter all the time are going to be locked from the outside. They will be you will be able to exit through those doors, but you will not be able to enter through those doors. And that project will be happening fairly soon. Everyone who comes through the vestibule, there'll be deputy sheriffs there, and they'll make sure you'll walk through a metal detector, and if you have a purse or a bag, that'll be scanned. Very similar to what you'd go through in an airport. Currently, the courthouse is totally unsecure, and it's a very, very dangerous situation, quite honestly. And they're going to be updating that soon. At the Blackwood landfill, there's a fairly significant expansion that will be constructed after the first of the year. $3 to $3.5 million project. A new 10-acre cell for the landfill will be installed. You may remember a few years ago, the county decided to ship a lot of their waste out of the county, and that was a good idea at the time because the landfill was about to fill up. But that has proven to not be economically the best way to go. So they're going to eventually abandon that and go back to expanding our existing landfill. We're also looking at ways to capture some of the gases that are generated by garbage naturally, and we've done that in several other counties. And there's gases that can actually be purified and either sold or actually used to generate power on site. And so that sounds a little far-fetched, but it's technology that exists now, and we're actually doing it in a couple of other counties. So we're going to look at that also. Another project over in Mountain Empire Community College at Dr. Hamilton's place is we are designing a new access road that will enter off the highway just south of the existing main entrance. It's about a 1,200-foot long 24-foot wide roadway that'll provide additional access to the maintenance building and to that end of the campus. And that's being designed right now. County is helping with the funding for that. One of the more visible projects that hopefully you'll be seeing often is the Wise Inn project. That project has been bid. The county IDA, who actually owns the building, the Industrial Development Authority, is assembling the final bits of money, and we're hoping that project will actually start construction this fall. Quisenberry's construction in Big Stone Gap was the low bidder, and we're hoping to be able to award that project in October probably. The existing Wise Inn is 23,246 square feet. In addition to renovating the existing inn and maintaining its historic character, that building is on the National Register of Historic Places and the State Register of Historic Places. In addition to restoring that inn to its current character, we're going to add an addition that is 23,427 square feet. So we'll double the size of that building. To get oriented here, this is Main Street, the front of the inn that you would see if you're standing across the street in Thompson Litton's front door. Spring Avenue is here. The courthouse is right beside it over here. Water Street, Dr. Kilgore's little dental clinic is right here. And Norton Road, which is the main road you come into Wise on, is right here. The existing inn is this shape right here. The new will have a little connector, and the new addition is this piece right here. So it's as big as the existing inn. One of the big challenges we had was how in the world we're going to get enough parking on this little postage stamp size space. There was no land available around it to buy for parking. So it's a big challenge to do this big of a building and this big of an addition and still have enough parking. We were able to create a 33 spot surface lot over here on the side. You may recall that was where one of the motel units were that was torn down, and there's some major power lines that go through there. Those power lines will be relocated, and the power to the inn will be served from Spring Avenue, and there'll be a ground-mounted transformer over here in the yard right next to the building. So those big power lines will be gone. In addition to that, we had to come up with a way to get a lot more parking. So we've created a lot under this addition that is at ground level. The addition will be raised up one floor, and that addition has 35 spaces underneath it. Also, the town of Wise will dedicate 3 spaces along Main Street for check-in that will be dedicated exclusively for the Wise Inn. So all told, we were able to get 67 spaces in and around this little site. We've also put a proposal to the town of Wise, which they've not acted on yet, to consider making Spring Avenue one way. I know that would circumvent the route that we all take to avoid this stoplight, and really change our whole pattern of the way we drive in town Wise. But if that was done, we could gain another 5 spaces along Spring Avenue, and we think help the access to the inn. Town of Wise said, well, we're going to wait and see on that one, because that's a real paradigm shift for everybody.
Yes, sir. Question. Once the school is moved, do they ever foresee a right turn on red at that red light in Wise?
I don't know. I think VDOT has recommended against that because of visibility, but I sure would like to see it.
Yeah. Once the school is moved, I'd love
but we'll see.
Personally.
Yeah, I've not heard anything about that. Going on, get you oriented on the site, deliveries to the building would be within the parking lot. There's just not a big area for a loading dock, but there will be a roll-up door here, and deliveries will be brought in here. If you think about it, the tavern, for instance, they deliver in the middle of the street. So, you know, we felt like that would accommodate, you know, the typical restaurant deliveries. Going real quick, looking at the floor plans. This is the ground level that we call the basement. This is the parking area that's going to be under the building right here, and you enter off of either Spring Avenue or Water Street. This is the existing pub. I don't know if everybody's been in the building, but there is a rathskeller type pub in the basement of the inn that's always been there. Really cool place. We'll restore that. There's a little room off to the side of it called the tap room. It's an intimate little room with a huge stone fireplace, and that's being maintained. I had some restrooms there. This area over here is for staff with a break room and some restrooms, a receiving and storage area. The laundry for the inn will be over here. Access from this level, if you're parked in this parking lot, there's a covered walkway that's exterior covered that you would come in here. If you wanted to just go to the pub, you make a left-hand turn and go into it there. If you want to go to the hotel, keep moving. You can come into this vestibule. There's a couple of elevators there and a stairway that you can walk up to the main lobby. In the existing inn, if you've ever been in there, the first floor will be maintained pretty much as is, although all the finishes and furnishings will all be upgraded. And by the way, the existing inn, although it will be maintained in its historic character, it'll have all new plumbing, all new electrical, all new heating and air conditioning. We're able to do that by some pretty slick tricks to conceal a lot of that new infrastructure, but that's allowed as long as it's concealed and still maintain the historic designation. The main lobby will be maintained. The registration desk and all that will be refurbished but maintained. Existing formal dining room will be maintained. If you've ever been in there, there's a room called the gray room, and it's literally painted dark gray. And that will be maintained as a small meeting area. There's another room on the back, which is really kind of one of the coolest places in the inn, called the TV room. And in the 50s, it literally was the only TV in the building, and everybody would gather there to watch TV. And that will be maintained as another small conference room. Over here, which is, you can enter this from right off of Main Street or from the lobby. This will be a 50s themed diner, and that'll be utilized primarily for breakfast and lunch, with the main formal dining room being for dinner. Complete kitchen renovation and a large addition here for the kitchen. Now we're going into the new addition. Large conference area. It'll seat about 200 people for a sit-down meal and about 300 people if it's all in chairs for a large conference, and it will be divisible with a folding wall in half. Food service can access the back of the conference area through this space here without having to go through the lobby or anything. They can serve meals and refreshments from the back of the house rather than going through the main doors. Again, from downstairs you would come up here in the stair or these two elevators onto this level and enter the conference center from a pre-function area lobby right here. These are all new hotel rooms in the addition. There'll be a variety of king and queen rooms all down through that after you pass through that corridor. On the second floor of the old inn, all those existing rooms will be totally refurbished. all the restrooms will be tore out, new modern restrooms will be put in. However, the historic character of all the rest of it will be maintained. And you'll have a variety of sizes and styles of rooms, all of them different. Some of them will be suites, some of them will be singles, some of them will be queens, kings, so there'll be all different configurations there. Another nice little seating and potential meeting room over top of the main front porch. If you've ever been in the inn, there's this spectacular little room that looks out over the front porch and you can see down Main Street. It's a beautiful view from right there, and so that's going to be maintained. The grand staircase that you see, as grand as it is in the Wise Inn, will be maintained from the lobby. We were able to get that approved by the fire marshal because we're going to fully sprinkle the entire building. So we can leave that open stair, but we do have other exit stairs that are fire ready. Again, a whole series of new rooms in the new addition of various sizes, kings and queens. Probably the neatest rooms in the whole inn are on the 3rd floor. They're up in the attic space. There's sloped ceilings and big dormers. There's about 7 rooms up there. They're all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are suites, some of them not. Those will probably be the premier rooms. The only negative thing is we were not able to get handicap access to that 3rd floor. We could not get an elevator up there without adding an addition on the side of the historic inn, which was a no-no. We couldn't do that. So that one floor is by stairs only, but everything else in the entire inn is fully handicap accessible. Exterior-wise, this view is from Norton Road. This is what you'd see there. This is the new addition. This is the existing inn. You're looking over that surface parking lot. You can see an opening here into the parking area under the building. This is the view from Water Street. If you were standing in Dr. Kilgore's office, this is what you would see here. Openings into the parking garage, and that's the back of the new addition. This elevation is from Spring Avenue, as if you were standing in the courthouse looking across the street. Again, the new addition is here, elevator, stair, lobby right there, and then the existing inn just as you see it now. And then this is the front of the building, as if you're standing in Thompson Litton's front door looking across the street, and that'll be maintained as it is. I'll answer any questions you got, or try to.
How many total lodging rooms?
49. Food service, I didn't really describe food service, but the breakfast and lunch is planned in the diner. More formal dining will be in the dining room in the evening, and then there'll be food service in the pub and the tap room in the evening also.
Any idea on the completion date?
We're hoping it might be ready by Christmas of next year. You know, you're dealing with a building that's 100 years old. There's going to be some surprises, but even as much work as we've done, there'll be some surprises. So it could extend a little into the next year, but we're hoping for Christmas time. Yes.
Question about the landfill. How long is that supposed to last?
The new addition is supposed to extend the life 11 to 12 years, and then they'll have to deal with it again. But this, about every 10 years we have to expand the landfill.
How many tons per day?
I don't know. I'm an architect. I don't deal with all those nasty things. Any other questions?
I would just mention it on the Wise End. I don't know if everybody has, a lot of folks have, but I remember the prime rib I had there in 1983 in the tap room. If you haven't, when that place opens up, boy, that's going to be a real asset for this region.
Everywhere I go, when I tell people I'm from Wise, they say, is that Wise End still open? I've been asked that question dozens of times.
If we still get calls at the office, does the Wise End still have that picture of the pie?
So it's well known, yeah, it's well known. Carl Snodgrass and the IDA have done a remarkable job in assembling funds for this project. It's being funded by multiple funding sources. It's really quite remarkable. Department of Housing and Community Development, ARC, Tobacco Commission, historic tax credits, new market tax credits, and there's probably others that I'm not even aware of. But it's been remarkable that they've been able to assemble that money. And they're real close to get the balance.
As far as the tap room and the bar, the hotel manager's going to be managing that as well?
That's the plan so far. They have, the IDA has acquired the services of Guest Services, which is a company that operates hotels and resorts throughout the eastern United States. They're based in Naples, Florida. But they are currently managing Heartwood over in Abilene. And if you've ever been to Canaan Valley Resort in West Virginia, a ski resort, they manage that and a lot of other properties around.
Nick, are your renditions available online if you want people to ask, or we direct them something?
We can make that happen through the,
Yeah, they could.
if that's okay with him.
Yeah.
We can make that happen on the chamber website.
There's a lot of interest, and I think people saw, like we've seen today.
Right. I mean, these are presentation drawings. We've of course completed construction documents, but these are much easier to read and understand.